Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
The earth, riches, and wisdom. So we have even right there.
What's his name?
Is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the info war. On the face of this globe, there are more than 180 nations, and less than 6 of them allow their citizens to keep and bear arms. Places like the United States and Switzerland. There is a planetary move by the UN and powerful corporate interest to disarm populations. The Attorney General famously told a meeting of media executives that they need to brainwash the public against the Second Amendment and create irrational fears that guns are this incredible danger in the hands of citizens.
One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
The LA Times even had to admit that gun crime is down 51% in the last 20 years, but that the public has the perception that there's more gun crime than ever. But the people are starting to wake up. All over the United States, there are open carry rallies where the people are going out and retaking their liberties and openly carrying firearms that is still legal, but that the media had made taboo. A right that is not exercised is basically destroyed. Mayor Bloomberg, financed by the World Bank, sponsoring South by Southwest here in Austin, has come into town and financed multiple anti-gun events, where they're even talking about how to censor free speech on Facebook to shut down the argument. So, over 100 Texans marched today in an open carry march, and the good news is, out of hundreds of people that our reporters talked to, of trendies from California who'd visited Austin, only 2 people didn't think citizens should be able to openly carry and keep firearms. We are winning the fight. Congress only has a 6% approval rating. Of course the power structure wants to disarm us because they're scared that the public might someday, under a tyranny, defend themselves. But what's really winning the Second Amendment fight is this. Yesterday, I took out a bunch of Hollywood people shooting out at a friend's ranch. And a lot of them had never shot guns and hadn't even been pro-gun previously. And they totally got it and said, I'm a good person. Why did the police just have guns? I just shot all these guns, including 50 cals. It was fun. It was safe. You know, there was one actress there who was shooting bullseye at 200 yards the first time she shot. She's like, wow, I could be a person with guns and protect myself. True feminism, empowering women. The fake feminists want men out of the picture to make the state the husband. That's what the system admits they're doing. And so we took these women and men out, they shot firearms and were converted in the matter of hours over to fully understanding the spirit of 1776 and individual freedom. And in closing, we have a clip of some young geisha girls today down in South by Southwest in downtown Austin. When they were handed an M4, M16 variant, their eyes just lit up.
Oh my God, this is priceless. Is it on safety? Safety check. There you go. That's awesome.
This is the same thing I've seen in every case. If you can get a progressive, government, statist, slave of the system out to fire firearms, they will convert to a real liberal Thomas Jefferson style. Liberals, become real liberals. Join the libertarians. Join the human empowerment movement. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table. And the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the Info War at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
We reported on this last night at Infowars.com from the Ukrainian news. It is in the New York Times today, and the U.S. government is confirming, that is the occupied U.S. government by the globalist, is confirming that Russia is massing between 80,000 to 200,000, there's different reports, troops on their western border with eastern Ukraine and Crimea, and are massing tank divisions, armored vehicles, and mobile missile launchers, anti-personnel, anti-tank, anti-helicopter, and attack aircraft missiles. It's a big deal. And I keep telling everybody this is a big deal. And the Russians historically will end up attacking anybody that gets on their border or tries to destabilize their country. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe the New World Order is going to be able to defeat them. We'll have a great nuclear war, and Russia will be destroyed. You know, my issue is America's been occupied by the globalists that are destroying our country, deindustrializing us, attacking our families, attacking our culture, trying to disarm us. The Russians are not attacking anybody. The Russians are not expanding. The Russians have their own problems, but they're not offensively doing anything. And under common law, common sense, you're not supposed to sit there and mess with them. The Ukrainians didn't go under EU control 3 months ago. The Soros State Department operatives staged the overthrow of the elected government, and sure, I'm sure it was corrupt. Most governments are corrupt. It certainly was corrupt, and it was connected to Russia because the other side is connected to the EU and NATO, and you are seeing a proxy war, boys and girls, on Russia's borders. And Russia is not a red star communist system anymore. We're more communist than they are. They certainly are authoritarian in Russia, and becoming more so, because when the West messes with them, it gives them a real pretext to take liberty. Our government stages terror attacks, finances al-Qaeda jihadis, lets them attack us, finances mental patients, jihadis. There's all sorts as a pretext to take our liberty. But the Russians don't need to stage anything. They've got the State Department and the Saudi intelligence openly funding al-Qaeda all over their borders, blowing stuff up. Chechnya, the list goes on. And now the West is trying to destabilize the internal Russian government in Moscow, and they're doing it on the borders of Moscow, on the borders of Russia, and this could easily turn into a large war. And if anybody attacks Russia with conventional weapons, there's a good chance they're going to use tactical nuclear weapons like they said they do in Georgia, and they rolled them in, and NATO blinked and backed off. And I don't know if NATO is going to blink this time. NATO is run by Wall Street types in Europe and the U.S., in London, in England, who make 40-to-1 bets on MF Global and then don't get in trouble when they steal billions of dollars, like John Corzine. They are crazy. Crazy like a fox. I mean, they're in control because they've been bold. And they've been on the offensive attack. But at a certain point, Napoleon dominates all of Europe. He turns and invades Russia, gets beaten. Hitler beats all of Europe, turns, goes into Russia, gets beaten. And there were other cases of this before. And the only reason you get beaten is because it's be like invading the U.S. I mean, you're invading a big, giant country of people that are willing to fight. I mean, we can't beat the people in Afghanistan, folks, because they're willing to fight. You can make whatever moral judgments you want about them. But, I mean, the Russians will go to nuclear war with us, ladies and gentlemen. They'll go take a bunch of shots of vodka, turn the keys, and launch the missiles. I mean, this is not a good situation, is all I'm telling everybody. And we're run by Obama, who literally, the globalists do have an anti-family, anti-God, anti-sovereignty agenda. At the top, they're more technocrats. But in the mid-level and even high levels, right up to the very top, I mean, this is kind of a trendy, progressive jihad into Russia, because Russia is paying people to have kids. They're apologizing for eugenics in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Their population's gone down by 30+%. They're dying. And Russia's becoming more nationalistic, and that threatens the New World Order. They want their own New World Order, Russia-based. And believe me, if Russia was trying to finance movements to take our guns, if Russia was trying to finance movements to break up our families, if Russia was trying to finance movements to do things like that, I would become very anti-Russian government, and I would speak out against them. In fact, I saw some anti-gun reports on RT last year. I played the reports, and I said, listen, you're a foreign-financed media outlet. I mean, let's face it, our so-called mainstream media is state-run as well. Let's just be honest about it. Russia just doesn't hide it. I said, you run anti-gun crap on RT America, I'm going to start a campaign to have your license pulled. Get the hell out of my country. And by the way, they had the host come on and say it was their idea, not RT, to be in, and they apologized to me on air. So let's get this clear. If the Russians try to take one of my freedoms, I'm going to become anti-Russian government. They're not doing that, folks. I got foreign New World Order bankers perched on top of me and my family and your family, literally shutting this country down. What do you think Cloward and Piven Obamacare is? I mean, even the founder, the architect of Obamacare, the main architect, Ezekiel Emanuel, said, no, the plan's to bankrupt the system. Of course it is. Of course there's death panels. Of course it doubles and triples prices. Of course, I told you the website wasn't going to work. I told you it didn't work on purpose to make that the distraction. They now admit that. It's all a giant screw job. I told you that million+ idiots that thought they'd signed up.